Hello everyone, welcome to Accounting 4828, and I'm your professor for this course. My name is Daphne Rickson, and I'll just give you a little background about myself. First, in addition to being an accounting professor, I have a major interest in doing work on cooperatives and credit unions. So I'm also, in addition to being Associate Professor of Accounting, I'm also the Executive Director of the Center of Excellence in Accounting and Reporting for Cooperatives. Fortunately, it does have an acronym, CARC. And I've been here at St. Mary's since 2008, and this is more or less my second career. So previous to this, I worked for over 20 years as the controller, finance director, etc. And when I'm not teaching, I really enjoy traveling. I've been traveling quite a bit to Europe, Asia, South America, etc. So the next thing I want to talk about is the office hours and email. So my office hours are virtual through Zoom on request. I used to have standard office hours, but then I found that wasn't convenient for most people. So I'd rather leave it to students. Contact me if you want to have a Zoom call. You know, that's fine. Just let me know. We can set up a time. Telephone works too if you don't want to do Zoom. So if you have questions, certainly you can email me questions as well, and I try to respond to everything within 24 hours. Usually less, but that's kind of like the maximum. So for reference material, I'm sure you'll be pleased to know there's no textbook for this course. So the reference material is comprised of lecture notes, readings, like various articles, and videos. So I've tried to find, shorter articles and shorter videos, so that way you won't get too bored reading and listening to everything. So now for the all-important information, evaluation, we got to find out how we're going to get those marks. So first of all, there's an online discussion board, so there's going to be 9 of those at 6% each. So here's how I divide up the 6%. So 4 is for the quality of the response. 1 is your response to other students' postings, and finally 1% on your grammar, spelling, etc. The other major part of the course is a case. So it's about a co-op, a real co-op, supermarket, but I've disguised it as island co-op. So if you go looking for it, don't do that. You just got to use the information that I'm giving you in the case. So what I'm doing with this is the midterm, I'll have you do the first part of the case, and then for your final project, I'll have you do the remaining elements of the case analysis. So the midterm component of the case is worth 16%, and the final is worth 30%. So this being a virtual course, I know many of you have probably already done a lot of Zoom over the past year or two, but I think it's really important to keep yourself on schedule, because when you don't have a class to go to at a certain time, it's easy to kind of put it off. So I suggest that each module, review the videos that I've prepared, read the lecture notes, read the assigned articles, and view the videos. Not every module has videos. I've tried to find them wherever I could, but there's some modules that don't have them. And work on your response to the discussion board assignments. Try to keep up and not leave it to the last minute. And of course, you need to respond to other students' postings. So that's the suggested weekly schedule. And if you follow that, hopefully you won't get behind in the course. So now I'm going to go into a bit more detail on the elements of the course. So with the online discussions, there's 9 of those, as we talked about. So for modules 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And the questions are located on Brightspace, and you need to prepare your response and post it by 11 p.m. Halifax time on the dates indicated in the syllabus. And in order for everybody to respond to other students' posts, obviously you all can't wait until 11 p.m. to post your own response. So, you need to do it a day or two in advance to give other people, yourself and other people, a chance to respond to the posting that you've done. And due to the nature of this type of assignment, we can't really get into extensions or makeups on this. So I'm sure you're all pleased to know that, as I've mentioned previously, there's no midterm exam and there's no final exam. But instead, of course, there's the case that I just mentioned. And all the information on the case is contained in Module 5. So in order to succeed in this course, and certainly any course for that matter, is prepare a schedule that reflects the due dates of all the assignments and the midterm project, etc., and make sure you're leaving yourself enough time to do the work. If you think something is going to take 2 hours to do, probably budget 3. It always takes longer than you think when you're doing assignments. So don't leave everything till Sunday, because you need to take into account, as good as technology is, sometimes systems go down, there could be an outage, that type of thing. So just give yourselves a little extra time. And the other point I want to make is, if you're having any issues with the course material, contact me as soon as possible so that I can help you. Don't just sort of push it all to the side. If there's something that you're really concerned about and you're having difficulty with, definitely get in touch with me and I can help you for sure. Okay, this ends the introductory video.